Welcome to this class. My name is Claudia Mühlenweg. I am the founder of Holistic Vision and the creator of the Naturally Clear Vision Method. I'm also a certified Bates Method teacher, a yoga teacher, yoga tuner, and role model method practitioner. And the role model is what this video is really about. We will be using myofascial release therapy balls, these tune-up balls that come in different sizes, and you can use any size for today's practice. And if you are watching this, my main work is eyesight improvement, and I use these myofascial release techniques for my vision students, but also for my yoga students, because all of us have tension, right? I think it's a sign of the times that we all have tension and a lot of parts of the body. And if you are interested in vision improvement and you're not yet familiar with me, you can go to myholisticvision.com and download my guide, 10 Habits for Healthy and Happy Eyes. All right, let's begin. We will start with the area of the sternum. So we will place, and for me, I have a little necklace, so I will put that to the back. So we will use the ball. And again, if you use a small one, you will need a block or a spacer as a spacer. So you will need a yoga block or a thick book. If you have the alpha ball, you can use that straight away. So I will demonstrate it with the block because I think most of you have the small balls. And we will put the ball, so we will do the whole sternum, this whole area. So it doesn't matter if you start up here or down there. And the way we do it, we use the ball and then we spin it. So you press, see how my skin is winding up? So you press it and then you lean into the ball. So it's both a pressure. If you only have a tennis ball, you will get the pressure, but the tennis balls don't have the same great grip than the yoga tune-up balls. So either way, and let me see, I probably have to adjust the screen a little bit. So you will basically, let me show from the side. So you will spin this, you will lean against the wall and then spin the ball so that and then the further away you step from the wall, the more pressure you get. All right, so I'm winding up the ball, I'm leaning against the ball, ooh. And then you can hold the block if that feels good, or if you feel more secure. Maybe have your feet a little wider than hip width so that you're really grounded. And then if you're okay, you can also relax the arms and you can lean the head forward and just breathe. Take a few deep breaths into the ball. If you have a small one and it's really intense, you can also do this on the floor with a block. You can kind of come to a kneeling position and do this on the floor. Or if you have, use a bigger ball. And then you can also add more motion by doing slow angel arms, moving your arms, or maybe one at a time if that feels better for you. And then I also do a little bit of bending and straightening the legs, so that way the ball will travel up and down. Like, so you're going down, up and down this way. If you bend and straighten your knees, you use the block. If you use the block, it's kind of like your runway. So find a spot where you find the most tension. For me, that's up more in the upper area. And then wind up the ball again in maybe the other direction. And then just breathe into that. Wow, so I definitely am tight. I haven't done this one in a while. It's the pectoralis major, the intercostals, the muscles between the ribs, all those muscles that can get tight. And you can sigh it out. I notice I turn my head to the left because I have more range of motion than on the right. It's a little tight here. And again, you can do that rolling up and down. So definitely for me, the first time I did this, it was super tight. And this is related to a lot of upper breathing, upper chest breathing versus the relaxation, the breath into the belly. And I'm way tighter than I thought I would be. So I guess I must have done all this. Coronavirus must have definitely affected me. Unconsciously, we do a lot of these things. We not always notice them. So if you have another spot, maybe do one more. And then I do one that's a little lower. wind up the ball and then really press into the ball as much as it feels good. And if it's too intense and if you have a bigger ball, then you can also use the alpha ball. For that one, you don't need a block if you just use this one, because it's big enough to give you enough space. And it's less intense with that ball. All right, let's move on to the next thing. So the clavicle, the collarbone, you can see this bony part here, that's our collarbone here. You can kind of grab that. And we will be working around this area. There's a lot of tension here usually. And what we start with is like stripping or moving the ball right underneath the collarbone. And you can go a little lower if you find more tension right here. You don't have to like be too concerned about being directly, I should chopping my eyes off here, go directly. And you can either use the small ball with the block like we just did. So the ball will be going, you're not crossing the sternum in this one, you're just going one side, kind of this way. And then we will do the other side. And what's really nice too, what I love to do, the area, the pec minor, like this area tends to get really, really tight, right? This, you can already grab it and feel it. So when you do this rolling back and forth a few times, you can stop right here at that pec minor and then add those snow angel arms. So you're moving your arm like a snow angel and with external rotation. So as if you're serving a platter, and then you will be moving your arms up and down like that. So that's an additional move that I find really nice, or well, nice is maybe the wrong word. That's where I feel a lot of tension. So let's try that. So we will be rolling one side, and then you can add that, and then the other side, okay? And you have to negotiate, if you use a block, you have to figure out, you have to negotiate the space with your movements so that you're not falling off the block, but you will figure it out. I like to start on the outer edge where the pec minor is and then roll toward the middle. And make sure you relax that arm. So I'm doing the right side. Make sure you relax, you breathe. I can definitely feel something there. And you can do that with the alpha ball, the big one, and without the block. So if you have that big alpha ball and this one is too painful, or you don't have a yoga block, you can use the big ball, the biggest one. And then, yeah, this really hurts for me. A lot of stress we have all, even though I feel okay right now, it's still like that inner turmoil somehow gets stored in the body. And so if you want, and you're in that outer edge, if you're like on this outer pectoralis area here, you can add those, press into that area, and then you can add those snow angel arms. So inhale, reaching up, exhale, moving back down. Ooh. And maybe relax your head toward the wall, maybe even lean your forehead into the wall so that you're not holding unnecessary tension in the neck. And if you find a juicy spot, like for me, when I have my arm up, it's the most intense, you can also stay there, maybe even karate chop your hand into the wall and just lean more. I'm doing the right side, lean into the right side so that you're adding a little bit more pressure right there. So you can just press without moving. And then move your arm around. So just explore the different movements of your arm or your shoulder and notice how that affects your pec. So the more I get the most intensity when my arm is up versus down. And then maybe twist your body a little. If you do the right side, twist your body a little bit toward the left so that you kind of roll around that area a little bit more, kind of rotating. Ooh. Wow, I don't know how that was for you, but for me that was quite intense. So let's do the other side. Start by rolling side to side and then either ending here, or if there's another area that's tighter than the pec minor, then you can definitely stay there. So everybody is different. So just find out what works where you hold the most tension. So side to side, relax that left arm if you do the left side as well. And just be curious too, if this side is less tight or more tight than the other. No judgments, just becoming aware of what are your like patterns of where are you holding tension. And it could also change. It's not that it's always the same side, but it's always interesting to me, like when, like why is my left side is actually, it's pretty equal, a little less than the right for sure. And then if you feel the same way about the pec minor area, right here, if you have the same, here for me, it's definitely more tight than here in the middle. You can do the same. And I'm lowering my block so that I can step further away from the ball and lean more of my body weight into the ball. And then you can add those snow angel arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lowering. And you can add also, I forgot to say that on the other side, if you want to add more, you can definitely do that spinning. You can wind up that ball. That adds also more massage of the tissues. So maybe wind it up a little bit. Ooh, yeah. And then add that motion. And explore. If you don't feel anything, maybe move the ball a little lower, a little higher. Just find a spot that feels tight somewhere in that area. Relax your head into the wall. And then find the spot where you have the most intensity. For me, it's arm up. And rotate, if you do the left side, rotate a little to the side and really lean into that ball, like with as much pressure as you need to feel something. And relax the right shoulder, relax your head and your neck. All right. So for the next one, we will need the corner, and it's going to be this. It's pretty much the similar area, just we have a different angle on it. So we will do this same kind of spot right here under the collarbone, and go to the wall. And it's nice to create a lunge position with your, let me lower this a little bit. You can see my picture that I took down. So you will be more in a lunge position. So if I do the left side, my left leg is backwards, the right, it's like a lunge, and you can get a nice stretch in that left calf and hamstring too. And you put that ball there. I'm kind of limited by the hallway. And your torso, let me show on this side first. Your torso is almost perpendicular to the floor, like parallel, like this. So anywhere here, the ball will be anywhere in this space. And actually, I think I prefer to do it this way here. Ooh. And then let your, ooh, yeah. Let your left arm relax. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but this is really painful for me. Breathe that deep breaths into that area. So you're doing a little bit of chest breathing now purposefully. And you can use your right hand on the corner, and you can really decide with your front right foot, you can decide how much pressure you put into the ball, right? So you can either really fully lean into it, or you can push yourself away a little bit or come up a little higher. And then you can also like move your torso up and down so that the ball is traveling like a little bit up and down like so. And then also you can rotate your body. So you're kind of doing both directions, up and down, and then crisscross, so to speak. So just notice where you feel In any spot that feels tight, just stay there and breathe into it. Yeah, this one was way overdue for me. Oh, wow. Sigh it out if that feels good. Go a little bit sideways. There's not that you can really roll that much. It's maybe an inch side to side. Make sure you relax that left shoulder. And if you want to add more, you can bring your left arm up. So you're doing this as if you're bracing your left side against the wall. So you can, it's a little bit of negotiation with the ball, but basically from your left arm, I have to make sure my ball doesn't roll away, but you lift your left arm up. We just did, but bend your elbow and then press into the wall. And you can use your right hand to brace yourself too, so that you're not slipping away. Make sure you do this barefoot on a hardwood floor, or that you're not, slipping away if you have socks on. And then you can relax the left shoulder and put the left hand on your sacrum, so the back of your hand on your lower back. Either just pressing or doing that gentle up and down movement, so you're letting the ball move. All right. So I recommend about 2 to 2.5 minutes on each, like not more than that, because otherwise, I think the body ends up tensing up more, but do what feels good for you. Sometimes if you cannot hold this for more than 30 seconds, it's probably too much pressure. So you don't want it to be so intense that you can barely stay on that spot. So either use a bigger ball, an older ball, or put less pressure. You really have total control over the pressure. And let's do the other side. So I will, let me see. I could do this way, actually. Am I still in the video? Yeah, okay. Turn this around a little. There you go. That's my eye chart, one of them. Okay. Oh, wow. Holy moly. So again, come into a lunge. If you're doing the right side now, I'm giving instructions for the right side. You're in a lunge with the left leg forward, left leg is bent, and then your right heel is on the ground. You're getting a nice stretch. Let that right arm completely relax. And then you can decide, you can use your left hand to brace yourself, maybe push more or push less into the wall. Start with relaxing that right arm, let it dangle. And then just breathe into that space. Let your head relax. And then if you want to add, you can, lift your torso up and down so that the ball moves vertically on that area. Maybe sometimes you have to reset the ball a little. For me, the highest spot is definitely that's like a trigger point. It's like, wow. So if you feel enough, you don't have to add movement. Movement makes it more intense. So if you're already at this point where like I am right now, where it's like, oh, wow, I don't really think I need more. Maybe wait a little bit and just breathe into it and see if it softens a little bit. And when it's a little softer, I feel it softening. I feel it getting a little less. Then you can add that motion, either lifting the right arm up, like bending your elbow, or bringing the back of the right hand toward your lower back. So you can add additional motions which stretch that muscle more, so making it more intense. But all the movement is optional, and then maybe go a little side to side. Ooh. You can also explore moving your head around and see that does not affect that area so much, but it's always be curious, like what body parts do you move? It really gives you, to me, it's such a great way to learn about your body and what movements affect what muscle. So bringing the arm, extending, this is called shoulder extension. Bringing your arm up and back definitely affects that muscle, right? The pec minor. Okay. Yeah, I think this one needs a little bit more attention on my side. Oops, I thought I turned my phone off. And then the next spot that we will be doing is right So right in this triangle, there's the collarbone, and then so this little hole right here, right above the clavicle. So that's the next spot we will be doing. And it's the same thing. It's with a corner. That's why you need a corner to put your head somewhere. And oh, yeah. Same, let the arm dangle. It's kind of very similar movements, but here you can also bring your arm forward instead of backward. But always start just pressing the ball into the tissues, breathing, just checking in. So don't get too concerned about creating movement. Just the sustained compression is a really good way to start without any motion. And this is where you feel more if you move your head yes and no. And then you can also do the shoulder extension, move the arm backward or bring it forward. So just kind of move that, I'm doing the left side, move that left arm around and just explore what happens. And maybe yes, no. Make sure not to hold your breath. We tend to hold our breath when we're really concentrated or when something is painful. So really make sure the breath is your best friend in releasing muscle tension. All right, wow. I don't know about you guys, but man, I'm way more tense than I thought. So again, we're gonna go to this area, and you can actually also add some spinning. You can always add that spinning motion if that feels good, but it's not necessary. So right in that little triangle here. Move this down. So, you know, that we tend to hold, so really start relaxing. If you do the right side like me, relax that right arm. Always let it completely relax before you add anything. And just press, check in, breathe. Maybe start saying yes. Oh, man. So yesterday, if you were here yesterday, we did the area just behind that spot right now. So over the top of the hill, so to speak, we did the back part of this area. Can also be very intense. And then maybe say no. Move your arm around if you notice any. Bring it toward the back. Wow, for me, the right side is way more intense. I'm right-handed. That could have something to do with it. Wow. All right, let's see how we are on time. Oh, we're almost done with time. Yeah, this is pretty much what I had planned for the day. Let me think if there's anything else we could do. I think, I mean, I'm pretty good. I don't know about you. So this is, let's call this a day today. So this is the end of so we did we did the sternum area, we did the subclavicular, like under the clavicle, we did the pec minor, we did above the clavicle. So these are all spots that are affected by breathing into the chest, being stressed. And I was way more stressed, or apparently so, than I thought I was. So this is a good area to work on, and we're not always aware of this tension. So this is something that's unconscious. A lot of times this kind of holding the breath or breathing up here is a lot of times things that we do unconscious. So if you are also interested in vision improvement, you can go to my Facebook group, See Clearly Without Glasses. I run challenges in that group, and this is also where I will post some of these videos on top of YouTube, of course. So if you are interested, that group is mainly focused on eyesight improvements. So even if your vision is not yet affected, maybe you have a family member, maybe you want to prevent getting glasses. So I highly recommend you join that group. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.